Who are the greatest rulers in history? Who has humanity embraced as thundering echoes from the past? Alexander the Great. In the early morning mist of 334 BCE, Alexander led his army across the Hellespont, the gateway to his empire. The soldiers, a mix of Macedonians and Greeks, felt a mixture of fear and exhilaration as they marched towards the unknown. The weather was clear, but a cool breeze hinted at the challenges ahead. Alexander, however, was undeterred, his vision of a unified world driving him forward. The conquest of Persia. As Alexander's forces faced the vast Persian army at the Battle of Gaugamela, the dry desert heat bore down on them, adding to the tension of the impending clash. The soldiers, their armor heated by the sun, steeled themselves as Alexander gave the signal to advance. The thrill of battle surged through them, their general's confidence bolstering their spirits despite the overwhelming odds. Founding Alexandria. After his victory in Egypt, Alexander founded the city of Alexandria, envisioning it as a beacon of culture and learning. The wind off the Mediterranean Sea carried the scent of salt as workers laid the city's foundation. Alexander, with the weight of destiny on his shoulders, felt a rare sense of peace as he oversaw the creation of a city that would immortalize his name. The march to India. The monsoon rains of India were a new challenge for Alexander's army, unaccustomed to such relentless downpours. The soldiers trudged through the mud, their spirits dampened by the endless rain and the unfamiliar terrain. Yet Alexander remained resolute, his determination to reach the ends of the earth, inspiring his weary men to push forward. The legacy of Alexander. In 323 BCE, as Alexander lay on his deathbed in Babylon, the weight of his conquests pressed heavily upon him. His empire, vast and diverse, stretched from Greece to India, a testament to his unparalleled ambition and skill. As his generals gathered, the fate of the empire hung in the balance, the seeds of division already sown. Julius Caesar. In 49 BCE, Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon, a decision that would forever alter the course of Roman history. The river was shallow, but the implications of the crossing were deep, signaling the start of civil war. Caesar's soldiers, loyal and battle-hardened, followed him without hesitation, ready to march on Rome itself. Caesar's triumph in Gaul. The dense forests of Gaul were a formidable backdrop to Caesar's military campaigns. The soldiers, cold and wet from the frequent rain, felt the tension as they prepared for battle against the fierce Gallic tribes. Caesar, ever the strategist, rallied his troops with promises of glory and riches, his presence alone enough to instill confidence. The Ides of March. The air was thick with tension on the Ides of March, 44 BCE, as Caesar made his way to the Senate. His soldiers, who had followed him through countless battles, were not with him now, leaving the great ruler vulnerable. The cool spring morning would soon be stained with the blood of Rome's most powerful man, his assassination sending shockwaves through the Republic. Augustus and the birth of an empire. In 27 BCE, Augustus stood before the Roman Senate, the cool marble halls echoing with his voice as he laid the foundation of the Roman Empire. The soldiers outside, loyal veterans of the civil wars, stood at attention, their faces reflecting a mixture of relief and pride. Augustus, with his calm demeanor and strategic mind, had brought peace to Rome after years of turmoil. Pax Romana. Under Augustus, the Roman Empire entered a period of unprecedented peace and prosperity known as the Pax Romana. The warm Mediterranean climate and bustling markets were symbols of the stability Augustus had achieved. The soldiers, now guardians of this peace, felt a sense of purpose as they patrolled the farthest reaches of the empire. Genghis Khan. In 1206, Temujin, known to history as Genghis Khan, united the Mongol tribes under his banner. The cold winds of the Mongolian steppe swept across the gathered warriors as they pledged their loyalty to him. Genghis Khan, with a sharp mind and fierce determination, felt the weight of destiny as he prepared to unleash his armies on the world. The conquest of Central Asia. As Genghis Khan's forces swept across Central Asia, the harsh desert winds and scorching sun tested their endurance. The soldiers, accustomed to the brutal climate of the steppe, moved with unparalleled speed, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. The dust clouds raised by their horses were the harbingers of doom for cities that had stood for centuries. The Siege of Baghdad. In 1258, the Mongol army under Hulagu Khan, Genghis Khan's grandson, laid siege to Baghdad. The Tigris River, normally a symbol of life, now reflected the fires of destruction as the city fell. The soldiers, hardened by years of conquest, showed no mercy, their actions forever altering the course of Islamic history. The legacy of Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan's empire, the largest contiguous empire in history, stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the edges of Europe. The harsh Mongolian winters had forged a people of resilience and strength, capable of conquering vast territories. Even after his death, the legacy of Genghis Khan continued to shape the world. His influence felt in every corner of his empire. Charlemagne. In 800 AD, on a cold Christmas day in Rome, Charlemagne was crowned Emperor of the Romans by Pope Leo III. The dim light of the candles in St. Peter's Basilica reflected off his crown, a symbol of the unification of Western Europe. Charlemagne's soldiers, loyal Frankish warriors, felt pride in their leader, who had restored the glory of the Roman Empire. The campaigns in Saxony. The dense forests and cold rivers of Saxony were the backdrop to Charlemagne's relentless campaigns. The soldiers, hardened by years of warfare, moved through the thick underbrush, their breath visible in the crisp morning air. Charlemagne, a warrior king, led from the front, his presence inspiring his men to press on despite the hardships. The Carolingian Renaissance under Charlemagne's rule, Europe experienced a cultural revival known as the Carolingian Renaissance. The cold stone halls of monasteries and palaces were filled with the sound of scholars and scribes, preserving the knowledge of the ancient world. The soldiers, now guardians of this newfound knowledge, felt a sense of duty, not just to their emperor, but to the future of Christendom. Napoleon Bonaparte. In 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte crowned himself Emperor of the French in a grand ceremony in Notre Dame Cathedral. The cold Parisian winter was forgotten in the warmth of the cathedral, where the soldiers of the Grande Armée stood in awe of their leader. Napoleon's ambition knew no bounds, and his soldiers, driven by loyalty and the promise of glory, were ready to follow him to the ends of the earth. The March on Moscow. The winter of 1812 was brutal as Napoleon's Grande Armée marched towards Moscow. The biting cold and relentless snow tested the soldiers' resolve, each step forward an act of willpower. Napoleon, usually so confident, felt the weight of the Russian winter pressing down on him, a harbinger of the disaster to come. The fall of Napoleon. In 1815, after his defeat at Waterloo, Napoleon was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena. The once great emperor, who had commanded the loyalty of millions, now faced the harsh winds and isolation of the South Atlantic. The soldiers who had once cheered his name felt the sting of defeat, their dreams of empire shattered, but their respect for their fallen leader remained. Our journey through time comes to an end for today. We embark on new adventures every week. If you relish the experience, please like and subscribe.